Oh, get her! What a rich stitch!
Well, I didn't think you were actually going to say that.
I said rich stitch. What's wrong with that?
Well, I don't know. It's what it rhymes with that worries me.
Is this part of the Dots Heirlooms?
Or even the Dots Heirlooms, which you will find in the download
I
section.
can't help being posh.
He's a bit like, who are you like? You're like Mrs.
Hilda
Malaprop.
Baker.
Yeah, a bit like that. Mrs. Malaprop.
Me soon.
Do you know, I read an article
I
the
saw
other
one
week.
of those dogs, those big bull mischiefs.
I read an article about Jimmy Jewel and her the other, and apparently they absolutely
Hated
loathed each
I
other.
know.
They
Come
could
on, get
only
on with it.
just
This is
stand-
all about the rich stitch.
It is, which you can see gorgeously displayed behind us.
Not the old stitch.
Rich Stitch is all about Dots Heirlooms and her fantastic ability to do the most intricate stitching, or even
Who's
intricate
Dot?
stitching. Dot's your mum.
Me mum. Yeah, not me
Your
mum.
mum.
She was very common. She was definitely a mum, not a mum.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, what we've done, we've put together, we've taken some of mum's beautiful embroidery and created different ranges with them. This is the Rich Stitch range. Beautiful tablecloths from mum made, and pictures, and well, anything she could embroider, she embroidered, and she did that over 60 years. Now, I think we've got a slideshow to give you a couple of the ideas of the 10 main images that we've created using this one particular cloth that my mum made, and all the kind of papers and that we can do with it. I don't know if they're on there or not, but you can look at that anytime you want. So first of all, look at this slideshow to give you an idea about what Rich Stitch is all about.
Now this is, as you can see, a superb selection just from these Rich Stitch downloads. Now obviously it's up to you which ones you choose, but the great thing you've got with this is all of the coordinating bits and pieces, and of course you've got such intricate detail.
Well, you've got 10 main designs, and you've got those designs in 3 different sizes. Then you've got all the choice of all the different 3D sheets that match the designs of the main ones, either in large, medium or small. You're also going to get the
Page curls.
Page curls. You're going to get background papers all matching up. There's some really unusual background papers here, full of texture and
richness,
vibrant colours, and you've got some which are big and bold, Rich
like
Stitch, or you've got some that are a little bit more delicate. You've also got them in the vellums as well, and sometimes you just need a little bit, just a little hint as well. That's a lovely one with all the stitch in there of the beautiful leaves.
And of course we pride ourselves on the quality of these images, so that for those of you that are familiar with, or perhaps more familiar with your computer than some, that sounded a bit wrong, but never mind, you can increase the sizes of these to whatever size you want, or indeed you can decrease them. You can manipulate to your heart's content, but the great thing that you've got here is a superb array, nay, a fantastic selection of beauteousness that is going to forever embellish your card making and of course your scrapbooking.
I'll embellish you with the back of my hand in a minute, lad. There you go. Aren't they looking beautiful? Those are beautiful. Those we was little vellumized then, weren't we?
We were.
We were vellumized. Can't touch you for
So
it.
I did something wrong and it made me make a mistake. So
Not that you need any help. Have a look at this. I've got one of the pages just printed off here. You can see that, can't you? And look at. I mean, I just defy you to get right in there and just look at all that beautiful stitch work that my mum did. Look at, aren't they gorgeous? And the colours are so vibrant and lovely. We've created 10 different designs from each of these different selections here as well. That's just one of them. You've seen the rest of them. And don't forget you get them in 3 different sizes as well. We've got a gallery here. In fact, we've got 2, but we'll just show you one first. I'll look at this gallery. Then we've got a demo for you as well, a little project, give you an idea of some of the things you can do with it. So first of all, get some inspiration from this gallery. Few examples there of what you can do with the rich stitch. So where do they find the rich stitch, Barry?
Well, you find the rich stitch in the download section on the website, and of course you will find a dedicated category there for all of the loveliness that is Dot's Heirlooms within that section.
Well, we could have dressed up a bit more lovely, couldn't we?
We could have done, actually.
Filmed this in the midwinter, so it's a bit
We
cold.
don't want to detract from the items.
But don't forget, depending on which download you go for, you're going to get different 3D sheets. And all you've got to do, what I tend to do, is just sit watching the TV and just sit there cutting out. And then the next day, and then I put them in an envelope or something. Here's some here that I've just cut out. And then you can start creating. Look how beautiful they look. I mean, look at those. Go right in close, Barry. Go on, get in there, Moisan. But look at these, right down to the little ones. You can cut the little ones out quite easily. There's a little blue one and a little purple one. But again, let me just choose this one of the big ones. Look at that. Look at all the stitching on there. And you can make these into brooches or earrings. You can do all sorts of things. And don't forget, you can print them onto anything. You're going to get loads and loads of options.
Shrink plastic.
Shrink plastic, that'd be really good. You can print onto a lot of it. Acetate to make some beautiful kind of stained glassy kind of embroidered windows. How unique is that? But listen, we've got a project here for you now. Now, if you go to the Rich Stitch, you'll probably find projects there too. You can watch the project, and then if you want, you can just download the papers that were used in that project. We've got various options for you. This is just one of them. Now, I've got the main design here of this beautiful rose, embroidered rose, and I've also printed out 2 of the backing papers here with the linen effect, but in a purple and a nice kind of lilac-y colour, which I'm going to use these for matte and layering the main design. So the first thing I've done, I've mounted it onto the purple linen effect paper, and then I've put some white paper around the edge of that, and then I've cut out this size here But instead of putting it in the middle like that, I'm going to put it up into one corner, like so it leaves a wider border around the edge. And I've got a nice 8-inch square card here, and that's going to fit onto there, and I'll put a white border around that as well. There you can see I've layered up the card there now, and I've actually put some nice silver card underneath at the bottom there just to make it even look a little bit more luxurious. Next, from the design sheets, I've cut out all the extra pieces that I want to put onto the card ready to stick down. But before we do stick them down, what I want you to do, because they're nice big pieces, nice big designs, just roll them around your finger. Just go all the way around, turn it around as you're doing it. So when you stick these down, they'll be more rounded and they'll look a bit more kind of, instead of them being flat layers, they'll just look a bit better because they'll be nicely rounded and padded, almost like a quilted effect. So just roll them around your finger like that, so you just round the edges off. Just turn it round as you do it. So you hopefully can see that, how that kind of rocks now, because it wasn't very successful, was it? But I've looked up close. Look, see it rocking? It does rock, it rocks, look. And I'm going to use a little blob, well, a big blob of silicone glue here as well, because it's nicely rounded. If you just lay that down over the top like that, you get that really nice rounded effect, so it doesn't look so flat. And then you can do that with as many layers as you want to. So I've stuck 2 layers on here now, and here's a third one going over the top. Nice big bold designs, and it really does look fantastic. Just gently press it down. If you want, let the silicone dry in between each layer. I've also done the same with the next stage there, the next big flower, big blob of silicone. And as you slot this in, just slot it between the other petals there, so it slots in nicely, and just layer it over the top. And just be careful when you add them together. Just get it in the right position, and you might want to leave that a little while so it doesn't disturb it when you put the next layer on. Now you can also do the same with all the leaves as well, and I just take my finger and just roll it around like that, so you end up with that shape there, like that nice little shaped leaf. Bit of silicone underneath there, and you can stick the leaves down. And there's the beautiful finished card. Look at it, almost looks like porcelain, because I've printed it onto that beautiful shiny paper. Oh, I'm very proud of my mum.
You should be.
And she was a good embroiderer as well. You can always tell, because the back of the embroidery always looked as good as the front. Not quite as good, okay, but it looked pretty good. And sometimes you put the cloth on the table or something, you think, have I got it the right way around? So that's a good sign of a good embroiderer. I'm proud of you, ma'am, wherever you are. Bless her. Anyway, we've got one more gallery to show you to finish off, to give you a bit more inspiration. But don't forget, you've got choices. So you just go into Dot's Heirlooms, then you go into the Rich Stitch. And when you're in the Rich Stitch area of the download, you can choose which selection you want. You can go for the one design with all the corresponding papers and that with it if you want. Or you can go for different sizes, or you can go for more, or you can go for less. It's entirely up to you. But there's usually a main picture there and all the thumbnails of all the papers that you're going to get. I'm going to leave you with this gallery, shall we?
Oh, I think we shall.
And get some inspiration for this. And don't forget, get rich stitching.